Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by thick forest and red earth, there lived a young girl named Ada. She was only 16, naive, beautiful, and full of dreams. Her mother sold firewood in the market, her father long dead. When a traveling trader from the city promised her love, Ada believed every word. But months later, she found herself with a swollen belly and no one to call a husband. The whispers began. Shame on her. Her mother's daughter, indeed. The judgment burned deeper than fire. Her mother, overwhelmed with anger and fear, hissed one night. "You will not bring disgrace into my house. Do what you must before dawn." That night, under a cold, ghostly moon, Ada sneaked behind her mother's hut. In her arms, a tiny baby boy, wrapped in a tattered white cloth. The child cried softly, his voice piercing the night like a prayer that begged to live. Ada's tears fell like rain as she whispered, "Forgive me, my child. Mama said I have no choice." She ran to the bush behind the riverbank, the place where villagers buried secrets. Her trembling hands dug into the wet ground, and the baby's cry grew weaker. For a moment, she stopped. Her heart screamed louder than the night. But fear silenced love. And in that silence, she buried her child alive. The moment she covered the last handful of earth, the wind howled. The river roared violently as if rejecting the offering. Ada fell to her knees, shaking. The moon dimmed. Then came a voice, faint, whispery, chilling. "Mama, I'll wait." Ada had left the village far behind. She was now a nurse in Lagos, respected, educated, and living the life she once dreamed of. But peace never followed her. Every night at exactly 2:14 a.m., she heard a baby crying. Sometimes from under her bed, sometimes from her bathroom. She checked every corner, nothing. Her boyfriend Emeka, a calm and caring man, began to notice. "Ada, these nightmares again." She nodded, trembling. "It's not a dream, Emeka. I can hear him crying. Every night." He tried to hold her, but even his warmth couldn't stop the chill in her bones. One stormy night, Ada was driving home after a long shift. The rain poured like the heavens were angry. Her car lights flashed across the empty road. Until she saw him. A small boy standing barefoot in the rain. His eyes glowing faintly. His face familiar. Ada hit the brakes, heart pounding. The boy stood motionless, pointing toward the forest. Before she could speak, thunder struck, and he vanished. Only a small cloth remained on the road, the same white cloth she once buried her baby in. She screamed and fainted behind the wheel. When she woke, she was inside a small deliverance church. Her friend Ngozi, who had found her unconscious, stood beside her. A prophet approached, eyes deep, voice heavy. "You buried something that didn't die, my daughter. It calls to you every night. Until you set it free, your spirit will never rest." Ada's heart froze. How? How do I set it free?" The prophet stared at her. "Go back to where it all began. The earth remembers what it swallowed." Ada returned to her village after 10 long years. The moment she stepped off the bus, whispers followed her like shadows. Some pointed fingers. Some crossed themselves in fear. Even her mother avoided her eyes. "Why have you come back?" Ada replied softly, "To end what I started." That night, she walked alone to the riverbank. The same place where she buried her sin. The air was cold, thick, and heavy. She carried a candle, holy water, and the tattered white cloth. As she knelt to pray, a strange wind rose from the ground, swirling around her. The candle blew out. The river rippled though there was no breeze. Then she heard it, the cry. A baby's cry. Louder. Closer. She turned slowly and froze. A small child stood behind her, half spirit, half shadow. His eyes glowed red. His voice was calm, but chilling. You came late, Mama. I waited. Ada fell to the ground, weeping uncontrollably. Forgive me. I was young, I was afraid. The boy stepped closer, tears streaming down his ghostly face. I was afraid too, Mama. Suddenly, the ground beneath her began to shake. The soil split open, revealing a tiny skeleton wrapped in the same cloth. Ada screamed. She covered her face, but when she looked again, the skeleton was gone. And the boy was smiling. You have spoken the truth. Now I can rest. The boy faded into light, his laughter echoing like wind through leaves. The river calmed. The moon brightened. When morning came, the villagers found Ada sleeping peacefully by the river, her candle still burning. She woke with tears of peace, not pain. That day, she made a vow to help other young women who carry silent shame. She opened a foundation for abandoned mothers, giving them the help she never had. When Ngozi visited her months later, she said, Ada, you're glowing. You look free. Ada smiled gently. Because I finally faced the one soul I buried, myself. Some secrets don't want revenge, they want peace. And sometimes, forgiveness begins where fear once buried the truth. Moral lessons. You can never bury your past, you can only make peace with it. Fear makes us commit sins, confession brings true deliverance. Healing begins the moment you stop running from yourself. Drop a comment, like, share, and follow for more.